Welcome back. Due to the government shutdown, more federal workers are missing their paychecks, and some major airports are seeing some flight delays as well. You might recall during the 2019 shutdown, TSA workers began calling out for work after not getting paid. Louisiana Republican Senator Bill Cassidy was asked if there is a plan in place to deal with that happening again. Here's what he said.
I don't know of such a plan. I will note that Louis Armstrong Airport is officially experiencing delays because of TSA agents like calling in. And I kind of get it. They've not been paid. Some of them may be having to take a second job in order to work.
Now, Cassidy says another problem is the lapse in the National Flood Insurance Program, which is keeping people from getting some much-needed insurance and buying a home. As the U.S. Supreme Court has yet to make a decision on the future of congressional maps in Louisiana, hundreds of activists and lawmakers took to the steps of the Capitol to express their concerns on what this decision could mean for the state and black voters. Louisiana First News reporter Deshaun Johnson went to the rally and shares more from both sides.
A house divided against itself cannot stand. And right now, Louisiana, our nation, is divided.
It's a division that's bringing the entire district to the steps of the Capitol.
Our voice must be heard.
While the Supreme Court tries to make a decision on congressional maps in Louisiana, lawmakers and activists make their voices heard on how this could reshape politics in the state. District 6 runs from Shreveport to Baton Rouge. Alfreda Tillman Bester has lived here all her life and says she's worried and afraid.
It's as if the people who are making these decisions want to marginalize the community that I am a part of. And we're not going to stand for it. We're not going to stand for it.
They're taking a stand in a different approach.
We fight, we win!
Every parish in the district came to the Capitol. Shreveport native Rudolph Glass Jr. says he's seen many changes in his hometown, now including this potential change, and says it's doing more harm than good.
What happens is every time we move up, they move up even further. So they maybe change the Constitution and do what they're doing now. It's really a travesty because we're not safe.
Lawmakers on the local level are still in special session discussing changes that could impact the spring elections for next year.
Madam Secretary, closed machine, 27 yeas and 9 yeas. The bill is finally passed.
Senate Bill 1, which moves deadlines and qualifying dates for the spring election in 2026, made the final passage. Democratic lawmakers have argued that this type of shift is too late in the year and could interfere with the future of the Supreme Court's decision. Republican Senator Caleb Kleinpeter, who authored the bill, says he's doing the right thing.
We are here to give the highest court in the land to make the decision and to give us direction. We're constantly being litigated for maps, and it's time the Supreme Court gives us direction to be able to draw these maps in a fair manner.
Fairness. Many Democratic lawmakers say they don't see.
Voting Rights Act that was passed in 1965 is as relevant today in 2025 as it was in 1965. There's still attempts to dilute and to weaken our vote. There's still attempts to dilute and take away fair representation.
The Voting Rights Act of 1965 has been at the forefront of the potential shift in the political climate for the state. But Carter says it's not just Louisiana that could feel the ripple effects if the Supreme Court rules it unconstitutional.
The reality is this is bigger than just Louisiana. It's our whole nation that's at risk.
Senator Kleinpeter argues that's not the case.
There are many statements here that stated that we're violating people's rights. This bill does not violate any people's rights. We move elections all the time. But I believe moving this election back gives us more time.
Democratic Congressman Cleo Fields, who holds the seat, says this decision is ultimately in the hands of the Supreme Court, and no matter the decision, he has high hopes.
The Supreme Court is going to rule when the Supreme Court rules, and there's just no reason to have this session. But at the end of the day, I am very confident that they're going to rule when they want to rule, when they're supposed to rule, and that they're going to rule that the Voting Rights Act is constitutional.
In Baton Rouge, Deshaun Johnson, Louisiana First News.
And lawmakers say the date varies on when the Supreme Court would make their final decision. The special session has ended with all of those election date change legislation or those bills having passed. A text message chain involving Baton Rouge Mayor President Sid Edwards circulating online appears to suggest ICE agents in Baton Rouge ahead of the November election will hurt efforts to pass the Thrive ballot proposition. While the mayor says the messages are with campaign fundraiser Sarah Bennett and are being taken out of context. Mayor Edwards clarifying he does not support ICE agents in the city. He has supported the idea of having the National Guard aid the city for reducing crime, however. Louisiana joining several states in support of ending birthright citizenship. Attorney General Liz Murrill says the Constitution was never intended to grant citizenship to children of undocumented immigrants born in the U.S. Courts gave that argument little merit before the Trump administration. Well, we're keeping up with the New Orleans money problems. City Council members passed 3 measures to stave off another deficit. One amendment would require the mayor to get council approval on money used outside of the set budget. WGNO's Ashley Hamilton has those details.
Big changes are being made when it comes to the city of New Orleans finances. The city council is creating some new rules in an attempt to prevent future deficits. Council President J.P. Morrell has introduced an amendment to the Home Rule Charter, which, if approved by voters, would require the mayor to get council approval on money being spent outside of the set budget.
The administration has to say, I'm moving this money from Department A to plug a hole in Department B. Further, it instructs the Finance Department and the CAO going forward to not deficit spend.
The council has also passed a resolution for the legislative auditor to investigate why city spending has caused a $160 million deficit. Mayor LaToya Cantrell is all for it.
Unless we analyze how we got here and we change the way we budget, we are destined to repeat it.
We welcome investigations. It seems like that's been the hallmark of the tenure here pretty much of this council. We've demonstrated in the past that when we get a loan, we've not only paid back, but it makes us even better.
Additionally, a resolution was approved to ensure that several steps are taken by the Department of Finance as far as reporting on different expenditures. Mayor Cantrell calls this redundant.
Those reports will go straight to the legislative auditor, which will also be coupled with an ordinance that will create a special fund that will put the funding that we do receive in a specific fund so it's easier to track and monitor.
You already have an independent auditor. Your auditor is ours, it's Cars, Riggs, and Ingram. And we're already working with the legislative auditor.
November 12th is the last day payroll is set to be funded. And if the city can't come up with the money needed to pay employees, they'll have to resort to their last option.
If we activate the rainy day fund, we will see coverage through December. And we also have sales tax revenues that are coming in on a monthly basis.
Ashley Hamilton, WGNO News.
Coming up, Governor Jeff Landry calls for a Charlie Kirk statue on the campus of LSU. We'll hear from students. And 2 Louisiana universities will not have Charlie Kirk's Turning Point USA chapters on campus. One state lawmaker has called for swift penalties. Stay with us. We'll be right back.